Alright, hello people from the internet, hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The time has come for me to play on stream once again. So here I am, playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I feel like every time that I die in the mid game, I just like get so unreasonably frustrated when it comes to the game. And I'm like, I'm not gonna play this anymore, this is not fun anymore. Um, and then um, wow, rare Bob and Alice death. Um, and then I just go through a week or so not playing Crawl, and then I come back and play again. Um, that is kind of a complicated feeling for me. I cannot help but to draw some comparisons between that cycle or that pattern and what I experienced with League of Legends. Like with League of Legends, what happens is that, or like at least what happens to me, is that I play the game and I despise the game, which is perfectly reasonable in the case of League of Legends, to be completely fair. And then I'm like, okay, this game sucks and I don't want to play anymore. And then I remember the good times that I had with the game, because as horrendous of a game as League of Legends is, um, it still had some good times. And then I remember I'm like, okay, I want to experience that again. And then I jump in and I sure get some of that good stuff again. But I also get a lot of the bad stuff, and yeah, it's a very vicious circle in the purest sense of the expression. I don't like that that I am starting to develop such a relationship with Kroll. um, Hopefully, it is only a temporary thing. If it's if it proves itself to not be so temporary, if it's like a noticeable pattern for me, I will have to force myself to stop playing for good, probably. To, just avoid mental anguish. That's not what life is about at the end of the day. I've said it many times in my streams, um, my I guess you could say many years ago, even if it's not been that much time, but you know exactly what I mean. Like I've said it so much and so often throughout the time that I have streamed. A video game's goal, like its main purpose, should be for you to derive enjoyment and entertainment from it. You can get other stuff from video games. Claiming otherwise is kind of uh, like um, lowering the value of the form of media. Um, at the end of the day, I think video games are a way to like a medium, as I already said, like movies and sculpture and all that stuff. um, but yeah, like you should derive enjoyment and entertainment from a game. If you're not mainly getting that, the game is not really fulfilling its function. It reminds me a lot of games like Last of Us 2, where you don't really get a lot of enjoyment or entertainment out of that game. It's just horrendous in all aspects. Doesn't really do anything that one doesn't already do. But yeah, anyway, that's just a small example. Let's play Crawl, because we can play Crawl. This stream is about me playing Crawl, not about me talking about other video games. I was also buying a little bit of time so I could trim my fingernails because I hadn't done that in a bit. I only trim them when they get in the way of my typing on the keyboard. That's how I know that I have to trim my fingernails. Mm. There we go. Okay, it is done. Yeah, I would like to be able to stream Noita. Yeah, the saying "it is done" reminded me of Noita, because it is something that the game says whenever you make a son. Because of course Noita being very heavily inspired by the old grandiose roguelikes of yesteryear. It lets you make a son, and yeah, the Noita experience is so crazy. Like, there's so much that you can do in that game. Um, it's not necessarily a good thing, but it certainly is a thing that has a lot of depth and replayability, like because it has so much. I don't think it is infinitely replayable like this game, like Crawl, but it is very, very replayable. It still has a large amount of variety and player expression stuff like that. From the whole building your own wands with your own spells. Now I want to play Noita. Let me see if I have it installed. I'm not gonna play Noita today. I'm gonna play it off stream. As soon as the stream ends, I'm gonna be playing some Noita. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it is installed. I can play Crawl now. What are we going to play today with Crawl? You know, I see it as a screen, and my enthusiasm for playing Crawl kinda is diluted because I think to myself, I've played this, I've played this with all of these species, like literally all, because I've won all of them at least twice already. With obviously quite a few of them already, way more than twice. I've won. You know what I'm gonna do? This is what I'm gonna do. Demigod, some form of dexterity character. It's gonna be a gladiator. Yeah, with swords. And we are gonna hope that I get a good sword. If I don't get a good sword, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to do something else that will most likely not be what I want to do with this character. But at the end of the day, I guess that's just how Crawl works. Um, Trying to force builds is kinda not a good idea. Oh, look at that! We got the brand new splash screen for Ereshkigal. Such beautiful art. Um, I appreciate that about the Crawl community. Like, there's so much contribution, and at the end of the day, roguelikes thrive. Well, I guess I say roguelikes, but like old school roguelikes thrive in contributions from the community. NetHack had a very wide developer team for the longest time. Um, wow, okay, two Quokkas on D1. I might die here just because, yeah, I just got hit for 6 damage. Okay, I don't think that running away does a lot. Okay, it might do a lot now that I have drank a potion of invisibility. It's not really helping. Nope. I wish that invisibility wasn't so garbage in this game. Like, it doesn't really do anything. Mm, unless you happen to have some degree of stealth, which I obviously am not gonna have on D1. Um, so many Quokkas on this D1, by the way. That's the third one that I've killed. Quokkas are very dangerous, very powerful enemies for D1. There's D1 Quokka, D2 Adder, D3 Scorpion, and D4 Water Moccasin. And D5 Hornet, I suppose. Oh, look at that. Okay, I might want to make use of some of that vocational training and buy that manual of evocations later in the game. We shall see how it goes. Mm. I wish that I could provide this kind of commentary for other games. Like, I really do. Because being able to do that would just broaden my horizons so drastically. But I only feel truly in the zone whenever I'm playing Crawl. I may not really be so heavily into Crawl as I was when I started streaming, for example, or when I started playing Crawl, just to give you a couple of examples. But I still like it enough to be able to, provide some decent commentary. I would like to believe personally that it is high quality, but I guess that's not for me to decide. Yeah, it is up to you, the people who watch, who um, you are the ones who have to decide whether or not the content that I make is of high enough quality for you to consume. Yeah, that's just how it is. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oof. Regen Amulet, that's a big deal. And nothing else. Okay. Yeah, I should keep my eyes open for 5 potions of heal wounds. That's pretty useful. For another sword would be nice. Um, so yeah, buying that potion of heal wounds was a really good thing. We have been getting some decent gear here from these shops. Um, I got identified. That's also kind of a big deal. I'm gonna be identifying the scrolls because, identifying Blink. Something that I have noticed has happened to me with my recent deaths is that I just get so tilted by like the mid game experience and having to use a scroll of blinking in a position where I wish I didn't have to use a scroll of blinking, that I just don't use it and I die. And I'm like, okay, I died, but at least I didn't use that scroll of blinking, where it should really be the other way around. We got a longbow, and I am going to be going for swords dexterity with this demigod. That's kind of the whole reason why I went demigod, because big stats means big damage with swords. But launchers also scale with dexterity, so I might use that longbow in that shop. If I could worship a god, I would absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, go sack. Now I'm fighting Grinder because I don't think that Grinder is gonna paralyze me because I got willpower, and yeah, that went well. Not really an issue for me to fight Grinder. I wonder what's my damage rating. 14. Nothing extraordinary, of course, because it is the early game. And my longsword has a base damage of 10. We can drop that Ring of Mana. I don't think that I'm gonna be casting a lot of spells. Ring of Strength is slightly better. Will help me if I want to wear heavier armor. Okay, Crazy Youth is there. I want to see what cloak Crazy Youth has for me. +0 cloak. Okay, Crazy Youth gets to live this time. I only open the door on Crazy Youth if the cloak is decent. And this time the cloak wasn't really better than the one that I have, and Crazy Youth barely gives any experience. And in fact, Crazy Youth can be pretty dangerous to fight against, with the whole Chaos branded melee weapon. You can get paralyzed, banished, berserked. It can be pretty bad. What happened there? Torment and then got hit for 16 is what happened. Fortunately, I have a lot of potions of lots and lots of potions of curing, so I can afford to get into that kind of reckless fight. And in fact, it might be for the best to do that with this character. Pikel as well. Okay, you know what? I can deal with Pikel's goons as long as Pikel is not following them. Yeah, having regen is pretty sweet as well. And for Pikel, like, I don't think that Pikel is gonna beat me. I have a short sword of venom, so it's only a matter of poking Pikel once or twice, and that's gonna be enough poison to kill an early game monster. And in turn, I would get a lot of experience myself. Okay, we're done with the lemurs, so now Pikel will have to fight me on his own. Lemurs, there's only 4 of them. Yeah, Pikel only generates with 4 lemurs. Whip of Freezing and Wand of Acid. The Wand of Acid is actually really scary. I think that what I should do is throw a net, probably. Okay, we throw the net. Switch to my short sword of venom. Pikel is extremely poison. I'm gonna throw another net. This time I'm gonna swing with the sword. I think it is absolutely worth it. Pikel didn't really use charges of the Wand of Acid, so I traded 2 nets for 8 charges of the Wand of Acid. I might miss the nets later on because they are so rare and so good against certain things later in the game, such as ogres, for example. Two-headed ogres, you know the drill. All those guys. How much money do I have? I should at least go back and buy these potions of curing. Yeah, those ones are kind of important so that I can remove poison and know what they are. Okay, Blork the Orc with a Robe of Cold Resistance, which is not precisely better than what I have. It is also um, not that much worse. Okay, I figured that I was able to kill a corroded Blork the Orc. Fortunately, it was the case. I'm not gonna pick up the rope. It's not really that good for me. It would be a substantial armor class decrease for me, actually. Mm. So yeah, I hope that you all had a nice weekend. Over the weekend, I was very close to streaming a couple of times, and pretty much up until right now, I was very close to streaming. Like, I just started streaming right now and like playing Crawl because I didn't really have much else to play other than I guess Darkest Dungeon, and but I like did want to play on stream. Mm, what I don't really know, but like probably Crawl or something along those lines. Um, okay. This is a pretty nasty dungeon entrance, specifically because it has all three stairs here. So like I have regen, so like these dart slugs are not really dealing damage to me. Or like sure they are dealing like 5 damage or so, but who cares about that? I just regen that very quickly. But if I didn't have regen, it would be significantly more stressful to deal with this. I hit a mark trap, which is going to be quite annoying when it comes to going back into that level because I'm going to be surrounded by stuff. Yeah, I'm going to try to stir dance as much as possible here. Getting somewhat drained by the necrophage. It's fine because it's only 3 HP. Yeah, not really an issue. Also, I'm training fighting now, so my HP is going to go up. I think these guys have +2 HP, or is it only +1? Let's see. They have +1 HP. It should really be +2 with how slow these guys level up. In function, even though they have +1 HP, I think that you end with less HP than a human, because these guys just like level up so slowly. Okay, we found a D5 Arbalest. I think the correct thing to do is to use it. I mean, I don't really want to use it, but I think it is the correct thing to use. On the other hand, I also don't like not having armor class, and in order to use a launcher, you cannot really get away with using heavy armor anymore because of the changes to ranged. I really don't like those changes. I strongly dislike them because it makes you, just like be squishy if you want to use range combat. So in practice, what that change made was just like for me, it removed launchers because I don't really have characters where I want to use launchers because no characters of mine want to be walking around with low armor class. Um, Yeah, I think that like I have the longbow. The longbow needs to be like super good in order for me to want to actually use it. Um, I mean, I guess I wouldn't even want to use it even if it was really good because at the end of the day I don't want to use a launcher, but I might use it if it's really good. I'm saving up money for that. We are very close to the longbow. I think that I can afford to buy it whenever I get to it. Dexterity. Still looking forward to finding like a scimitar or so. Oh, I got a net. Pretty nice, very useful for dealing with that ogre. First ogre of the game, it's on D7. Maybe I should have just tapped it on my own. I took so much damage out of nowhere. 3. There we go. Potion of 3, so good. Okay, what's my damage rating now? 19. It's not really that high because my weapon is not really that damaging. But in the future, I'm gonna have a good weapon and it's gonna start dealing some pretty crazy damage because of my really, really silly high dexterity as a demigod. It's a +8 longbow of flaming. It's a really, really good longbow, unfortunately for me. Um, I'm gonna just like try to kill one monster with it, just to see how horrendous it is with chainmail. Like I don't really think that I'm gonna use it. It's super good, but okay, yeah. It's 2.1 attack speed. It's really, really slow. Like, sure, it deals damage, but it is just so slow with 0 skill. Um, Alrighty. You know what? I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it, even if it kills me, because I don't wanna use it. Mm, okay. Normally, by the time I see Morris, I would already have Curare. I don't have it this time. I don't think it's gonna be much of an issue. Gonna try to go for the poison because Morris has the tendency to go invisible and blink away and teleport and that kind of thing. Yep. Okay. Morris tries to hex me. Oh, Morris stole my ice blast. You know what? I'm just gonna close the door until you die. Yes, because Morris was super poisoned. Alrighty, I'm gonna get armor skill now because I am wearing chainmail, so it makes a little bit of sense to get armor skill. Morris had a hex one. I don't know what it was, but I would have liked to use it myself. Fortunately, I had willpower, so Morris wasn't really able to hex me with whatever he was trying to do. Regen is so useful. Regen is such a strong property to have at this early stage of the game. It makes it so that you can win pretty much every fight. Unless you're getting hit by multiple enemies. It makes you win every 1 versus 1 fight, I guess is the correct thing to do. Or to say. Spike Ringmail. I think it might be better than what I have. Yeah, it's slightly better than Chainmail. I'll keep it. Two-head Dogger. Let's use this one, the flame, on the two-head Dogger. Okay. Um, Obviously expensive in terms of charges of wands, but on the other hand, I have so many wand charges that I think it was just the correct thing to do. Yeah. I might change my ISP. It's like completely unrelated to crawl or to the stream. Well, mostly to the stream, but I might change my ISP. As it is right now, my mom and I each have our own internet service, and we pay more than if we just like got better bandwidth on one of the two internet services, and everyone connected to the same internet connection. Um, and yeah, like I want to spend less money, and she wants to spend less money, so we might do that. We're probably gonna do it. Mm, I need to give them a call, but I haven't really been able to. I need to give my current ISP a call to know if they have like something better to offer than what is being offered to me by the other company, and you know all the usual stuff that one does whenever they're doing things in life. Yeah, sure, we have a buckler. Let's equip it for a bit. Pretty much free. I still haven't found a weapon upgrade. It's D9. I have found some incredible weapons already. Like that longbow is pretty crazy. It's a shame that I found that longbow in 0.30 instead of 0.28. If it had been 0.28, I would have used the longbow. By the way, one of my last characters before the ranged rework was um, a dungeon depths pandemonium sot character that was using launcher as its main way of killing things that ran out of ammunition, and by extension it was very difficult for me to kill things in sot. Yeah, I don't remember that very fondly, but I still prefer that to what we got. But there's nothing that I can really do about that, so whatever. Mm, evocations. Yeah, I got 8 armor really, really quickly. I feel like I just turned on armor. Mm, we're gonna be getting about 10 evocations. I have a tin of tremor stones that is really expensive, and I also have a manual. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't train evocations until I buy that manual, and instead I should train Mindelay on the sword. 14 is actually not. Ooh, Rapier of Distortion. I think that I want to use that actually. That's a very reasonable weapon, and it is. Okay, getting some pretty good heal wounds heals today. Um, it's a pretty decent weapon, this Rapier of Distortion. I don't like the fact that you blink monsters away, but it is what I have to use, I think. So we're gonna be using it until I find a better sword, which hopefully won't take very long. Until then, yeah, this is pretty strong. Okay, plate 17.8 versus 13.12. I think I like 17.8. I think I like 17.8 a lot. Yeah, it is strange to have almost full armor before Lure. Full armor pre-Lure. That's not really a very frequent thing. But it is pretty sweet to be walking around with 17 armor class by D10 because you feel unkillable, especially um, if you have regen like I do and a decent weapon like I just acquired. I would still like to have a different weapon for sure. Not a falchion. Falchion is downgrade, but like I was thinking more of a scimitar. I really think that shops should never spawn stones on them because it just like it's a waste of space. Um, and the more the game progresses, the more the shops should get better, in my opinion. I've always thought that like it doesn't really make a lot of sense that you're on Bolts 5 and your shops have like unbranded plus 0 letter armor. That's like nonsensical. Mm. Okay, if any of those kobolds had Kirare, well, that's a shame. Yeah, the ones that I've been banishing. I've been banishing things like crazy. What's up with that? What's my attack speed? 0.8. What if I drop the buckler? What if I stop training short blades for a bit because I'm not, or like long blades, and I train short blades for a bit? Let's train it to like 10. It shouldn't really be that expensive. Okay. Okay, the acid dragon is just killing me. I think that's very questionable. It's dealing crazy damage. I have minus 16 corrosion. Yeah, this is not good. I'm probably gonna die. Okay, let's see what happens. Heal wounds. Okay, I killed the acid dragon and I get scales. I'm probably gonna wear those. Oh, you know what? I should get dodging. Yeah, why didn't I think of it? This is the kind of character that does want like 15 dodging because I have crazy dexterity already. And it's only gonna get better the more I level up. 12, 13. I like plate. Yeah, I like plate. That's a heavy falchion. Heavy is a new brand that replaced Borpal that makes the item that it has the brand attack way more slowly. but it also increases the base damage of the weapon by 80%. So, for example, with this rapier, the base damage of the weapon is 7, so it would be 7 plus 80%, which is probably going to get rounded up to like 5 or so, which is pretty good, right? Um, mm, but it's pretty good, but the slow attack speed of the weapon is pretty bad on the other hand. Yeah, so it can be a pretty complicated brand to use. Like you can get very severely punished for using it. And it is also really bad on weapons that don't deal good damage, like a falchion, for example. But if I was to get a battle axe or something along those lines with a heavy brand, that would be pretty decent. And the more damaging the weapon, the better the heavy brand is. Up until the most absurd, which is like Giant Spike Glove or Sniper. Sniper has the heavy brand now. Item Sniper. The plus 27 heavy crossbow sniper. Heavy, unlimited accuracy. This is kind of cheating because this has this never misses. So like it shoots super slow, but it never misses, and it hits incredibly hard. So it's just like it's gonna one shot whatever you shoot it at. Um, that's not really the experience um, with all heavy weapons, but specifically for sniper, like it's pretty cool. I think that I would use a sniper even with as much of a disdain that I have for ranged weapons as they are right now, and heavy weapons because I'm not that big of a fan of heavy weapons either. Mm. Okay, this Rapier of Distortion has been pretty decent. It hasn't gotten me killed yet, which, yeah, that's a good thing, and I can appreciate that. Okay, that's it for the 11. Let's re-identify some stuff. Let's see if we can find acquirement. Or blinking, that's also important. And there we go, we found blinking. So now we read for potions. Okay, we can re-identify all the other scrolls now that we have found blinking. Torment. Nope. Brand weapon. Do I want to? I think that I'm gonna pass on it. I have another one for whenever I want to get rid of my rapier or so, or whenever I find a greatsword on the floor. I am going to enchant the helmet. Enchant weapon, sure. Ah, 3 acquirements. Ah, vampiric double sword. Well, now I want to get rid of this. Yeah, that's a really good item to have. I will acquire that. Manual of Armor is pretty good, but I don't think it compares to Vampiric Double Sword. Should I unwield? You know what? I think that considering that I have a Vampiric Double Sword and I am not going to rebrand it, I can just like rebrand the Rapier so that I remove the chance of getting banished. And I can equip the Vampiric Double Sword. And I can just go and train for min delay on it. And we still have 2 more acquirements to go. Incredible boots, another manual of armor offered. I have to take the boots. Like, how, in what world do I not take these boots? I don't think that such a world exists, so I'm gonna take the boots. I don't even have boots, and these boots are gonna stay with me for the entirety of the game. Third manual of armor? Manual of earth magic. Ah, that's a beast ring. I'm gonna grab that ring. Yeah, okay. We've been getting some pretty good loot. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, so removing the strength actually reduced my evasion a lot, which means that maybe it is time to wear some acid scales. Yeah, sure. I'm also gonna be training evasion now. Yeah, jet. Let's do resistance to electricity. Yeah, that ring. It's a shame that the ring also has resistance to electricity, because had I known that I was gonna get that ring, I would have grabbed the manual of armor instead of the boots of resistance to electricity. But I didn't know. It's fine. Yeah, Demigod Dexterity Melee is what I'm gonna be doing. And potentially buying that Manual of Evocations and the Tin of Tremor Stones, but not yet. Let's go to Learn now. So, I should go pick up my Rapier. Because I need the Rapier for Hydras, unfortunately. Okay, now I can go Dueler. Oh, okay, I accidentally went down to D12, but why is there a double sword here? I just acquired a double sword. I mean, I guess I shouldn't really complain about it, but I find it pretty funny. There's two double swords already. You know, better to have the game generate two double swords than zero, right? This is the double sword game. Yeah, all my inventory is just honorary double swords. But anyway, Vampiric Double Sword means that this hits for 35 with no enchantment, just off of my skill and most importantly my ridiculous dexterity for this point in the game. Fire Dragon, okay, we can deal with that. Yeah, I don't have fire resistance, but do I have no potions of resistance? Yeah, I actually don't think that I can deal with it. Okay, I'll come back when I can deal with you. I think if you have a bit of stealth, that like walking around is enough for the fire dragon to forget about you. But I don't have any stealth or whatever. I'm just gonna re-teleport. And I think that I'm gonna go straight down because I cannot beat the fire dragon yet because I have no resistance. If I had a little bit of resistance, I would be able to. Enjoying crawl? It's definitely making it easy. But to be completely fair, I don't have any quarrels with the early game of crawl. I enjoy the early game. It's the moment where I am forced to go into the mid game where I feel like I want to quit the character. That's how it has been for quite a while already. Doing wonders with a focus on trying cigarettes? I don't think so. Yeah, in general, I don't do cigarettes because that's just like going too long into the game with the same character. By the time I get that far into the game, I either go for a 15 rune, which is very rare. I only do it with like spellcasters where I'm just like having the time of my life, or I want to finish the character and go play another one. There's not really in between. After first rune, yeah, for me it's after D15. Yeah. At that point, I am like, okay, we have to go do something else. Or we have to go do lure branches. Lure branches are just horrendous. I'm not a fan of them as they are right now. And it is as simple as removing the rune lock in bolts, in my opinion. But such a thing is never gonna happen, and I know because I asked Debs, and other people have already raised the idea in the past, and like it's gotten rejected. I still have a sliver of hope because the same was true for like food removal. Like food removal has been a thing, or like was a thing that was debated on for so many years before it actually got implemented. And when it got implemented, everyone loved it. So maybe it is a similar situation um, with the rune locking bolts. Yeah, I think that being able to do bolts before getting a rune would just like drastically increase the amount of options that you have access to mitigate the bad RNG or whatever that you get. Like, say that you want to go do, I don't know, snake or a spider, but you don't have poison resistance and you have low armor class. So, like, every fight you're gonna be getting red poisoned, and that sucks. Yeah, I know because I had that happen very recently. The character had resistance to electricity and a lot of willpower and pretty good shield stat and a tower shield, but I was unable to go do bolts, even though with those resistances, bolts would have been good. I also had cold resistance that I could switch into with that ogre that I played last week, but nope. The game said nope. So now I don't know what scroll of poison is, but I have two unidentified scrolls, so yeah, it's probably one of those. And it was. And the boulder beetle was very easy to kill because of that. Murder hobbling a Ziggurat 5 after you climb that lair. After lair, doing a Ziggurat sounds pretty difficult. You're shocked I'm not rolling the enchant. Oh, yeah, I have one. I didn't even notice. That's why. But yeah, we have to enchant the Vampiric Double Sword. Um, yeah, I'm not used to using my enchantments in the early game. That's why. Um, I generally don't have something good enough to enchant so early into the game, but this time I do. Let's see if I can get 8 more to fully enchant the double sword. Yeah, I can use a shield as well because this is a one-handed weapon. So theoretically, I could equip a shield and it would be good. I am too surrounded by these wolves. Such a terrible time to not have cleaving, but it's fine. Yeah, there's no real good position for me to be in where I am not just like surrounded by wolves. At least I have regen. I have regen and I have decent armor class evasion. Not to mention the crazy vampiric that I have so early into the game. 40 damage rating. Another enchant weapon. Okay, 2. That's 7 more to go. Okay, bring it on, Mr. Hydra. Actually, I'm gonna acid you. Get corroded. Okay, now bring it on. There we go. Have I run into any bucklers? Yes, I have one buckler. I'll equip it when I start training shields. And we found another enchant weapon. That's 3. 6 more to go. Crazy. Game's making it pretty easy to enjoy today. But the true test is the mid-game experience. I should not be so joyful regarding how well this has been going. That's a 4th scroll of enchant weapon. That's 5 more to go. Do you feel like they could just remove the 3 rune requirement for SOT? I agree. I agree. There's so many situations where I just like get to depths 4 with 1 rune, and I'm like, oh, I have to go do all these other things to get 2 more runes. When like I don't feel like I would really have to do it if it was not for the game like forcing me to do it. Pretty curious thing about the game as it is nowadays. I think removing all manner of rune locks would be nice. The Sod rune lock has been in the game for like forever. Like that one I feel like should probably have more resistance to be removed than the Bolt one. The Bolt one is or the Bolt one was introduced to the game when when Dungeon went from being 27 levels deep to only 15 and depths was added. I think it was at first cut from 27 to 20 and then there was depths and then it was cut from 20 to 15. Yeah, it happened so long ago. Oh, and also, like, at the very beginning, Depths was the branch that had the rune lock, not bolts. But very shortly afterwards, that was changed. Can you imagine the Reddit posts if they remove rune requirements? Yeah, like the Reddit posts of regarding any crawl change, like any non-minor crawl change, are crazy. I feel like you always have people complaining over the most insane things that like I still see people that are not a fan of the food changes. Like, what kind of crawl were you playing that the food system was enjoyable? At best, you had it like me with like my RC file had a automation of like butchering and eating, so like it was as least intrusive as possible. at worst, you don't have that, and you have to go out of your way to butcher everything and eat and whatever. Like really annoying, right? Um, I don't know. I don't think that's part of a good game, and I think that's just obsolete game design from the 90s and 80s. But some people disagree, and that's okay. Not everyone has to enjoy everything at the end of the day. Never forget mountain dwarfs. Yeah, mountain dwarfs. I feel like the changes to mountain dwarfs would have faceless backlash if it had just like removed Minotaur instead and just like kept mountain dwarfs. I don't think that there would have been so many people um, defending Minotaurs as there were people defending mountain dwarfs. Okay, I don't have poison resistance. That's a bit of a shame because I would really want to use Scroll of Poison, which I don't even have, and run away. That's fine. I lost a lot of HP really fast here. Yeah, I got smitten 3 times in a row for 36 total damage. Okay, my evasion went up pretty high, pretty fast. I have 10 dodging. This is the kind of character where like I should just get 15 dodging very quickly into the game. I feel like it's gonna actually do so much for the character because I have 37 dexterity, right? Mm. Okay, it would be great if I had a way to deal like area of effect damage to deal with these guys, but unfortunately I do not possess that ability. And there's also Nergal. You know what? I'm gonna re-teleport. Mm. +5 double sword of Vamp. That coupled with some pretty decent armor class later in the game is gonna make me so unkillable until like Sot. That is, of course, assuming that I can survive the crawl mid-game experience. That is something that you can never take for granted. But I feel like if I survive the lower branches, the game is like kind of in my hands. Sometimes I do die in bolts and in the late game and stuff, but it's much more uncommon. On the other hand, I feel like I die in the mid game so often. It is quite aggravating. Hmm. 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 I wish I had a net for Uruk because Uruk was mighty, no longer mighty. Yeah, I gotta kill you. Alright, shoutouts to Bamp. Bamp has been pretty useful. And Orc Warlord, you know what? I'm going to Kirara you. Because why wouldn't I Kirara you? There we go. In my foray into Lair, I only had one Hydra. I didn't do the final level because the final level nowadays is like ridiculous. I feel like it's always Frog Pond or something stupid like that. That is just like crazy difficult for the point in the game that it appears on. So why even check? I'll do it later when I feel like I can actually do it. Summon plus immolation. I was thinking of using immolation, but I was just too surrounded by stuff, and I don't have the resistances, nor the armor class, nor the HP to survive getting hit by 3 or 4 explosions or so from immolation. Taking my time and just like doing it one by one was fine. Okay, we found a kite shield, which I'm probably gonna buy and use. Ooh, rendered plate and rendered gloves. Okay, give me those. Yeah, sure. I'll take those. Ooh, the rendered plate is +10, so I guess I just win the game, right? Jeez. This is good loot. Imagine if I had started a Nugger. I was very close to starting a Nugger today. As a Nugger, I wouldn't have been able to use these gloves, these boots, and this plate armor. And I would have been pretty sad. And I probably would have just closed the game and played Darkest Dungeon instead. So I'm glad that I didn't do that. Okay, now that I have a plate, I think that training dodging for now is kind of silly. I'm gonna train armor. Um, okay, yeah. Now my character is pretty strong. I still think that the mid game is not a guaranteed success because I still don't have poison resistance, but this is pretty good. Check the scarf for resistance. Yeah, sure. We can do that because my current cloak is nothing too special. It was invisibility, and I don't really use invisibility. Armor restrictions suck when you find good stuff that you can wear. I agree. Oh, by the way, I can do the dragon now. The dragon that I skipped earlier because I have fire resistance now. Because the globes had fire resistance. And a little bit of dexterity and slow, unfortunately, but the other properties are so good that I think it's worth to have the slow. Didn't completely explore this level because of the dragon. Didn't wanna just like auto explore into the dragon as I am probably about to do. But now I'm okay with it. Now I am perfectly fine. There we go. Bring it on, Mr. Dragon. Goodbye, Mr. Dragon. Hello, loot that the dragon was guarding. That's really good. Yeah, if I was a spellcaster, I would love to use that. As a non-spellcaster, I think that I can still use it, but it's not really that necessary, I think. It's still pretty good. I'm astonished at how good this is. The only thing it is missing is like resistance to electricity or so. Still pretty great. I can probably do the final level of Lure with my newfound crazy amounts of armor class. Gotta be careful with this Hydra. You know what? The rapier that I just like left behind, it could be something that I could carry for Hydra slaying. What does a slow do? On 1% of the attacks, it slows you. Like whenever you take damage, you have a 1% chance to get slowed. That's kinda how it works. Which is obviously a bad thing. It is a pretty horrendous property, and unless the item is like actually crazy good, you don't want to equip items with slow. But this is an actually crazy good item, so I am just using it. At the very least, until I find something better than these globes. Like if I can mitigate the lack of fire resistance from taking them off by juggling gear around or whatever, I would take them off and it would be fine. Okay, so no frog spawn, surprisingly. Bogarts are just sitting in the background, someone spamming. Okay. A flail of abomination. Nothing to worry about. The character is going so well that I might want to do elf before doing lore branches. Yeah, that's like the ultimate metric for success on one of my characters. Whenever I can go do elf before doing lore branches. It always makes me so happy to be able to do that because like you get so much loot to go into the mid game. You still have to do lure branches, but you get to do them at a much more reasonable experience level or so. You feel like scarves are such toss-ups for egos. Repel resistance are really good, but the other three are pretty situational. Shadows would definitely be good for melee though. Yeah, shadows would be okay. I still would prefer to have repulsion. In recent times, I have definitely warmed up to repulsion more than resistance. It all depends on what you have access to. Like if you don't have resistances and a Scarf of Resistance lands on your lap, you would be very happy to use it. But if you have resistances, Scarf of Repulsion is just like so useful in bolts in the land of the archers. Pretty good for shoals as well. Okie dokie, everything is going fine. Yeah, the game is being kind of a walk in the park now, thanks to like If you get a +10 plate and a +0 double sword of Vamp followed by 5 scrolls of enchant armor, you're gonna have a good game. It's like almost unavoidable. Mm. Once again, it is the early game, so there's still plenty of times for things to go down the drain. It still can happen, but on the other hand, I have 40 dexterity. I don't think it's gonna happen. And if it happens, it's just gonna make me very disappointed. Hopefully, it won't happen. Alrighty, let me take a look at this. Maybe I can kill it. Yeah, I think that I could, but it's not really worth it, so I'm not gonna do it. Okay, surprisingly, there's a Nidra in D13 outside of Lure. Poison? No poison. Am I even picking those up? Because I might not be doing it. I am not picking up the scrolls of poison. Gotta go back and pick up that scroll of poison. We also got a bookshop, but I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna be casting spells with this character, so no reason for me to check the bookshop. Is that Azrael? It is Azrael, okay. Godred Poison. The correct thing to do here is to just go up the stairs, regen, come back down and kill everyone. Okay, those guys are not gonna walk towards me. So, what I have to do is use attraction. Oh, it's fine, because I have 35 armor class. Without 35 armor class, I don't think that I would be so willing to do this. Okay. Yep, that was pretty good. Now, if I hadn't found this double sword or the other double sword, this would be my first, like, better long blade than my starting weapon. Yeah, pretty much. I have a scimitar, which is like slightly better than Azrael's weapon, and that's pretty much it. Fortunately, I found this great double sword that I am enjoying. Yeah. I don't think that I have to worry about getting banished by the wizards in this vault. I should maybe train a little bit of evocations. Let's do it now. I have the manual. Can I buy the manual? Let's wait until I can buy the manual. It's not gonna take me that long to be able to buy the manual. Let's train fighting. Yeah, I have only 8 fighting after all. Let's get a little bit more so I can have some more HP. That makes my defenses and resistances more effective. Gold scales, Randard gold scales, and Robofolly, and another Randard plate. The game is spoiling me with fancy gear that I am going to buy whenever I have the chance to do it. By the way, I had 3 acquirements. Those 3 acquirements could have gone to gold, and it would have still been like incredible. I don't think that I'm gonna be finding more acquirements for the rest of the game. I think that I just exhausted all my luck. I have enough money to buy the Manual of Evocations. Let's go and buy it. Because if I don't buy it now, I'm gonna end up buying something in those shops in D15, so might as well just do it now. Evocations. Yeah, I'm gonna train it to 15 or so, considering how I got the manual. Pretty nice, pretty good. Okay, really good ring. Yep, what's up with the crazy gear? The game's just giving me pretty good gear. Left and right, it's only good gear for this character. I still don't have poison resistance, however. Maybe I would like to get some of that. Even if it doesn't happen, I think it would be okay, because at least I have good armor class. But poison resistance Important thing to have for later in the game. Yep. Okay, glowing great sword. It's so cheap, but I'm not gonna buy it. I already have such a beast um of a sword that I don't need to buy it. Scrolls of Fear, we can buy those. At least one, at least. There needs to be some other mid-game rune. Maybe throw in an elf. It would be nice. I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I think the development team has presented heavy resistance when it comes to those things. Like I've mentioned them in the past, and like I don't feel like there's a lot that they are willing to do about the current state of the mid game. I don't think they see any issues with it. Mm, so yeah, that's what happens when you tab a Titanic Hydra or a Titanic slime creature. Mm. Any shields yet? Yes, I have a shield in a shop. I was hoping that I would get a shield from the floor. I have a buckler. I haven't trained shields yet, but I'll do it after evocations. I just don't want the shield to mess up my attack speed. Not a fan of that at all. It happened again. Okay, do I really have to use another scroll blinking for this? Can I use fear? Okay, it worked, cool. Yeah, it's just that these slime creatures keep ganging up on me in a corridor, which is, you want to fight them while they're surrounding you, because if you have 36 armor class, getting hit by 5 monsters that hit you for 22 damage each is much more preferable than getting hit for by one monster that hits you for 110. It is how crawl works. Mm. Okay, I got strength in this level up because it increased my evasion a lot. It went up to 18, which is pretty nice. Are we done with the early game? "55 minutes. Yep, we're done with the early game pretty much. My options for the mid game are Snake and Shoals, and I don't have poison resistance, so Shoals it is. How did I know Strength would give a lot of evasion? My current armor is Plate. Plate has an encumbrance rating of 18. So if your Strength is below the encumbrance rating, it kind of nukes your evasion. It was not like my strength was not that low. It was only 15, and the encumbrance rating was 19. So I was not losing that much evasion, but I was losing evasion from using plate. So I knew that increasing strength would help with that. It doesn't really give that much. I think I had like 15 or 14 evasion before that, but it was an upgrade for my character, I suppose. And that is also to keep in, like, we have to keep in mind that I also have gold scales in a shop, so I might want to use those instead of the plate that I have right now. It's only a matter of waiting until I have the money to test those items. Wereblood? I'm not really looking forward to casting any spells. I also always forget to cast Wereblood whenever I have it. Very annoying, this sea snake. But that's just what happens when you're dealing with monsters that have poison attacks when you don't have poison resistance. Okay. So far, so good. Yep. These rooms with the water and the bunch of monsters are kind of okay, but I just like despise the fact that there's pools of shallow water in the entrances of the rooms. Not a fan of that at all because it makes you fumble attacks. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna drink a potion of flight here. Okay. Shafted. Water strike is a pretty bad thing. Yes. Okay, this is pretty bad. I might die from this unless I like take evasive actions right now. Yep. Strength equals evasion rating is a sort of breakpoint for the penalties, somewhat. It used to be much more obvious. Like it used to be named something else. I don't know what it was. And the description for the item also said something like you need X amount of strength to reduce the penalties or something like that. But it was weird. Like that's very ancient crawl. It's not like that anymore, and I'm pretty sure that it no longer works like that if it ever did. But that's just how I like to have it. Condenser Bane. Okay, yeah, this is the perfect position for anyone to use Condenser Bane on. Like there has never been a better position for Condenser Bane than when you're surrounded by enemies in a fully open area. You know, the crawl mid-game experience. Attraction. I need to pull these guys into the clouds because they all have ranged attacks and I don't have ranged attacks, so yeah, they need to die like quickly. Okay, so my ridiculous armor class kind of saved the day there. If I had been a normal character without like god tier loot, I wouldn't have survived that, I think. Mm. Map. No, it's fine. Like getting shafted from shows 1 to shows 2 is like not really that much of a difficulty increase compared to getting shafted from D5 to D7, for example. Yeah, that's like pretty crazy. In the early levels of the dungeon, you gain a lot of experience, and the game is balanced with that in mind. Uh, so whenever you get shafted, you're gonna see like significantly more dangerous, more powerful enemies than in lair branches, where like pretty much the 4 levels have roughly the same kinds of enemies. Maybe the final level has more difficult, more powerful enemies, or like just like 1 or 2 outliers that are like Hilsuiu or the Minotaur at the end of Shoals sometimes. There's also Titans sometimes, Storm Dragons, monsters that don't generally spawn. But like the first 3 floors are pretty much interchangeable. They like the difficulty doesn't really ramp up that crazily or that much. So that's why I didn't really map. When I got shafted in the dungeon earlier in the game, I also didn't map because I got shafted after Lure. I think that like after Lure, the game changes a lot and your character just becomes more likely to survive that kind of thing without you having to use consumables. It can still kill you, like it killed me recently. Oh, I got slowed by my slow artifact. Yep. It was meant to happen. Yeah. If you equip one of those things, it's gonna make you slow at the most inconvenient time. You can always trust in that. Okay. Very important thing to deal with the water nymphs is Wand of Flame, because Steam deals obscene damage to monsters, because monsters don't really have that much armor class. Yeah, it also deals obscene damage to players, but it's just that players don't just walk around with 5 armor class like these merfolks are doing. Mm. Super paranoid and don't feel comfortable not knowing where stairs are? I don't mind. It very rarely is an issue, especially like in shoals, because no matter where you are, you're not gonna teleport to a safe spot to go up the stairs. It's just the nature of shoals. Okay, yep. Water strikes still hurt. They ignore armor class, I think. That might be like another one of those bug things that shouldn't really work like that, but they do. That is not really such an uncommon thing in the game. I'm a bit surprised that these simulacra haven't made me explode, but I think it is because I have good armor class, and in order for simulacra to deal damage to you, they need to deal physical damage with their melee attack, and if they cannot do that, they don't deal ice damage. Okay, this is pretty annoying because I know where the ice cave is, but like that's just like it's impossible to go down the stairs into that, and it's also impossible to stair dance that. So I have to go down different stairs. All three of them are pretty close to the ice cave, at least. Yep. Drown damage, very funny. You know, even with a character with a lot of armor class, you can still experience the crawl mid-game experience. Yeah. Don't let yourself be deluded by the dream that good gear is gonna make you resistant to the crawl mid-game experience. It's still ridiculous. Okay, I think we're fine. Yeah, something important to keep in mind is that I hit really hard with a BAMP weapon. 48 base damage. I'm attacking at min delay. Just like healing like crazy. I'm lethally poisoned. Okay. I was trying to heal and I just didn't get any heals from like 90 HP. Well, 90 HP is a bit of an exaggeration. 69, 77 actually. 79. And yeah, and then after that, everything started to go down the drain. It's fine. Now, am I going to die to a fawn launcher? Am I going to die to those things? I don't think so. Because I have 36 armor class. 4 HP. Okay, so I didn't die. That's pretty good. The crawl mid-game experience, am I right? It is pretty frustrating. I don't like it. I might be able to just regen to full HP now. I'm close to the corner of the level. I think I may have enough HP to be able to get this done. Yeah, thanks to the plants. Gotta drink flight here in haste, just to make things less painful for me, and might as well. Now I have 100 HP, see? It was as easy as that. Just hit something and regen 50 HP. And now I can just like tap these guys down like it's nothing. The Crow mid-game experience. The thing about... I can't tell you exactly what it is that I don't like about the Crow mid-game experience, because it is something that you see in 3 out of the 4 mid-game branches. Shoals, Swamp, and Spider have open arenas full of enemies that are faster than you that have ranged attacks. So like it's impossible for you to take a good fight in the mid game. That is something that not even like the late game, not even SOT has. In SOT, you can take good fights because like it's the end game, so you can afford to use your consumables to dig holes in walls and stuff. But it is not something that you can do here. Like there's no walls. It's just open arena. So every fight that you take, you're probably gonna be surrounded. You're gonna get hit by many things from all directions with ranged attacks that hit crazy hard. which is what has been happening to this character. The same is true for Snake, or not for Snake. Snake is a special case. I will mention that in a bit. The same is true for Spider and for Swamp. Um, Especially with Swamp's reduced level size, you realistically have a chance of literally fighting the entirety of the level at the same time, which can be pretty annoying. But yeah, when it comes to Snake, Snake's issue is not that it sticks you in bad fights, or well, it kind of does. But the way that it does it is unlike these branches. Like in these branches, you just like are in the middle of an arena that is impossible for it to be good for you. Like you cannot have a good fight in an arena like that, pretty much. If you were to be fighting in an arena like that in the dungeon, the thing that any good crawl player would tell you is to just like not take a fight there. But in the mid game, you don't have the option. In Snake, what happens is that the enemies they're so plentiful. The Naga warriors have might. That's really annoying, and they also tend to have shields as well. So like monsters with shields are just horrendous. Um, Player shields are balanced because like you're not fighting only one monster in a 101. You're fighting a million monsters at a time. So like even if a monster's attack gets blocked, that's fine because all the other monsters have a chance to hit you. But you as a player, as a melee character, or as a character that doesn't have an ability that ignores shields, trying to fight monsters with shields is just like gonna be so painful, because of that. Like you can try to tap, and then the monster is going to completely skip your turn because you dared press staff and the monster had a shield. This is something that you can very clearly see with Menace, for example. I don't even try to tap Menace because of the tower shield. Like for Menace, I just use consumables, and I did this okay because Menace is a unique, so you kinda have to go out of your way to like use special things that you would not use for normal monsters, precisely because the uniques have special properties that normal monsters won't have. But it's pretty ridiculous when there's so many random mobs with shields just like running around that can also hit you crazy hard because they have haste, or not haste, they have might. Maybe at line of sight minus in the swamp would be cool. Would be really cool. But I don't know how you would make that. Yeah, I bet that if you were to make a patch for that and like submit it as a pull request, the devs would consider it. They would probably merge it. One of the main barriers for things getting added to the game is the lack of patch accompanying the suggestion. The devs don't like it when you just like say things without a patch that would make it easy for devs to just add it to the game. I'm gonna use Wand of Paralysis here, try to hex the Shard Strike. It hit me for 45, and then I hit it and I regained 47, so seems about right to me. Yep, I was expecting a Shard Strike because high level Ice Cave, that's just how it is. In fact, I'm surprised that it was only one Shard Strike. Pleasantly surprised. Also, if I had not gotten the Paralyze first try, I think I would have been in a pretty bad spot. Yeah, it's a late game. Well, it's a mid game ice cave, so I knew what I was getting into. My only complaint with mid-game ice caves is not the fact that they are a thing that exists. It is the fact that they can generate on D14 and D15, which, yeah. I think that D14, D15 ice cave is like almost impossible, but like a Lure branch ice cave is significantly more feasible because you have seen more game by the time you get to the Lure ice cave. Unfortunately, I already have a condenser vein. Oh boy, this character is really good. Like, good damage, good tankiness, good resistances. Good character. I don't need to pick those up. I could, because the boots that I currently have are not really giving me anything. Like that ring, I'm not gonna take off. There's no way that I take off this ring. This is just a really, really good ring. Mm. You never thought to use a Steam versus yeah, in Shoals Steam, like Wand of Flame is MVP. Like it's such a good item. And it is pretty good because like in other portion of the game is it that good. Let me get those Boots of Flight. That's actually a really good item for my current predicament of being a Shoals player. You know, the Crawl mid game experience. These boots that I acquired, I'm now gonna drop. It's kind of crazy, but I have to do it. Another requirement. +5 gloves? And manual fighting. Okay, the gloves that I currently have cannot really be replaced by that because the gloves give me fire resistance, but it's +5 gloves. Like, this is just crazy. +5 gloves and manual fighting. All these acquirements that I have gotten have given me at least 2 really crazy good items for my character. I have passed on 2 manuals of armor and to grab like armor that has been pretty good. And the last one had um, the sword and something else, right? Something like that. Manual fighting is surely the safest option, right? Okay, let me ponder my situation a little bit. I have 766 gold. The chances of those Randard gold skills to be bad are pretty high. Um, I am somewhat hesitant to buy them. Yeah. The ring that I have right there is pretty good, but I need willpower. I cannot really just take off my ring of willpower and pretend that everything is gonna be alright because we're getting to the point in the game where that is just not a thing that happens anymore. Um, accidentally dropped my potions of mutation. By the way, I have 8. Let's go ahead and do it. I have 8. If I didn't have 8, I wouldn't do this. 3 bath, that's fine because I have 8. Stat rod, I have fire resistance now. Sure, I'll take it. Clarity barely does anything. Clarity is like worse willpower. Because there's no effect that clarity protects you from that like willpower wouldn't really protect you. Sleep, but like nothing really sleeps beyond the early game. That's the thing. The dream sheep. Like I think because of clarity I cannot be put to sleep by the sheep, but you don't really see sheep other than here and in the early game. Stat rod is kind of annoying. Not really the end of the world, but certainly kind of annoying. So the Wand of Flame Steam is pretty good versus every merfolk and pretty much everything that is standing in water ever. But it is especially good against avatars because avatars are always not avatars, water nymphs, sorry, because those are 100% of the time standing in water because they have this aura of water that just follows them. Do I have another scroll of enchant weapon? Not really. Ring of the Mage. The Ring of the Mage used to give resistance to, or like willpower, but no longer. So I'm gonna leave it on the floor. It is not an item that I care about using with this character. Okay, I don't want to have another crawl mid-game experience, so I'm gonna use Condenser Vein. That's pretty annoying. Removed a lot of my clouds. The Windrake. Ouch. Big damage. I'm gonna re-teleport. Let's see if I don't die. Or I don't have to use a scroll blinking. Going for extended? Of course not. Given the absolute lack of poison resistance despite abundance of Randar's acquirement jewelry, you're sure the game's trying to gift you. Greed give me. Yeah, maybe. Like, there's definitely been a couple of occasions where I've already gotten deadly poisoned. I got a ring of poison resistance very recently, though, which is gonna be nice for later in the game. Oh, and I have flying now, so I don't have to be so concerned about fighting over water. Unless I get hit by stuff. Yeah, it's pretty exhausting to just play the crawl mid game. It's full of this kind of situation. So what happens if I don't have blinking there? I think that I just die, like, for daring to try to play the game. It's still pretty bad because I'm marked. I don't even know what marked me. Ah, Source's Malevolence is what marked me. Mm, I'm not gonna get water struck by the nymph because why is it summoned? No, the water is summoned. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get attacked by the nymph because it is. I'm not standing on water, but it's not gonna be the case for much longer. And on render that gave you minus will and clarity would be funny. Yeah, will equals 0 and clarity. The row of folly should do that. Like, I have it. No. I had it offered earlier. Or no. That's not true. I think I have it in a shop. There it is in a shop. Yeah. It has brilliance, willpower equals 0, and intelligence plus 8. Mm, I think that it should also give you clarity because why not? Why not? If you're equipping it, you better have clarity. Um, okay, so how do we not die here? How do we avoid death? I'm thinking. Well, I don't have. Or do I have? I don't have cancellation. It might be the unidentified potion. I was thinking of canceling the mark and then reading teleport and then just teleporting away. But I don't have the ability to get rid of the mark, so I'm just gonna re-teleport. The crawl mid-game experience sure is something else, right? Self-Quicksilver, that would have killed me. Yes, self-Quicksilver really hurts. I also have acid, no Quicksilver. Oh boy, the crawl mid-game sure is fun, am I right? Mark traps in this level are disgusting because like these houses are pretty reasonable to deal with if you just open the door and fight the guys. Like the one that is gonna give you trouble is the one where the rune is because it has like a bunch of high level dudes and that's perfectly fine and reasonable. But having to fight the entirety of the level of this specific level at once is just crazy. Yeah, that's almost impossible. I'm still in a bad spot because I'm marked and I cannot really get rid of the mark. Unless this is cancellation. It is, okay. Goodbye, mark. Now I'm gonna re-teleport again. Am I going to re-teleport again? I think that I will, but first I am going to just try to get rid of these guys. Um, let's see if I can get a good heal from these. I did get some heals, some like small heals, 8, 5, 6. It's not the end of the world, you know. You gotta take what you gotta take. And now I'm gonna read teleports. Let's see if it puts me in a place far, far away from where I currently am. Because I don't want to land in the clouds of poison, and I don't want to land next to these guys. Because these guys really hurt. Yeah, you remember that thing that I said earlier? Like, it's impossible to get a good fight in this part of the game because of the map design. Guess what just happened? Like, I got into a bad fight because of the map design, because it's impossible to survive a fight like that unless you burn through your consumables, which I ended up doing. And now I don't have consumables, so the next time I have to get into a fight like that, I'm gonna die. Unless I get really lucky. skill issue. Clearly skill issue. Yeah, that's right. Just hit more. Just hit more. And get more BAMP procs so that you never drop below 100 HP, of course. I should also, like, it's about time that I get a shield. Yeah, it's about time that I get a shield. Because, why, like, Stalrod is actually nuking my defense. Look at that. It's just because I'm actually taking a lot of damage in these fights. Because armor class doesn't really do anything against these guys, it seems. Well, that's not true. If I didn't have armor class, I would have died already. Yeah. But still, I might want to get rid of the stat rot because it's being pretty annoying. It's subtracted 4 dexterity from me already. Let's do it. Sure. Okay, we take that. We got 4 shield as well. 4 shield and a little bit of dexterity. So not terrible. Pretty good, in fact. I don't think that I'm gonna be using throwables. I'm gonna drop all the javelins after I get out here. I miss the times where the merfolk used to give more javelins. Now they give only 1 or 2. Plus 5 demon tridents. Yeah, the only demon trident that I have found this game is this one that I just picked up. Which is kind of a shame. Yeah, kind of a shame. Is this the rune? Yes, it is the rune. Okay, Scroll Poison should help for dealing with Ilsuyu. Ilsuyu blinked away. Okay, you kill Ilsuyu. And I got 3 levels of shield skill because of that. Now that I have gotten a rune, I can win the game now. Like, now that I have a rune, I feel so much more confident in my chances of winning the game. It's such a drastic change. Javelin guys kinda ruin whatever plan you had. Yep, just like a bunch of dudes hitting you very hard from afar with ranged abilities. Pretty powerful thing in the mid game. It would be okay if it was not for the fact that you know what, like, it's actually a pretty good weapon, but I don't think it's good enough to be my main weapon, the Zealot Sword. Yeah, like, it would be okay if enemies had like strong ranged attacks, if it wasn't also accompanied by the level layout with like no corners and no corridors. It's just like really punishing for the player. Unless you're playing a mage. Mages are just better than melee characters. I wouldn't say that melee is unviable, but melee is so much more difficult than mage because of that kind of thing. Shields are nice here. I don't agree because javelins ignore shields. What do you do for ranged if not throwing? I haven't really thought of what I'm going to do for range with this character. I could do throwing. Definitely I could do throwing. Like, I'm not gonna get spells and I'm not gonna get a ranged weapon. I could do throwing. That's the only option that I have. Evocations is also kind of an option, but not really. I wonder if I should buy the rendered plate or if I should just wait for the gold scales. Kite Shield of Protection. Yep. Holding on to buying shields paid off because now I have access to that Kite Shield of Protection. I will equip it now. Yep, I feel protected with 20 shield. 20 shield is more than what I had with my last Ogre, which was using a tower shield. I really think that the change of shields to make them just like care about dexterity is like so bad. Ogre is pretty nerfed. I know that. Like I've even said it in the past, but like Ogre is pretty nerfed in these versions because of those things. Sod levels of goods? Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that I could go do Sod now and it would end well. And because of that, I'm gonna go do Elf, which is pretty similar to Sod in many regards. Did you know that originally in Crawl, in Sod, there were no Draconians. There were elves in Sod. That was the first Sod enemy. This is taking longer than usual. Why did it take forever for that to happen? Yeah, that's a very, very ancient crawl. I think it may even be Linley's dungeon crawl. It was not the kind of thing that I got to experience personally. When I started playing the game, there were already Draconians in SOT, but that's how it used to be way back in the day before I started playing. Okay, it's pretty nice to be walking around here with. Oh, I miss clarity. I also miss my willpower. For some reason, I only have one pip of it. Let's fix that. Yep. Walking around this place without willpower is pretty dangerous errand. So, I have the Zealot Sword. If you are not aware of what the Zealot Sword is, it's a Eudemon Blade of Holy Wrath that makes you and all of your allies berserk 20% of the time. Yeah, 20% of the time, whenever you attack, you go berserk. So, berserkitis. I'm not a fan of berserkitis, I don't like it. Especially not in a place full of dudes that just like blink around like crazy like this place. Mm, so I'm probably not gonna use it a lot. I might use it in Crypt or something, because at the end of the day, it's a Eudemon Blade of Holy Wrath. Yeah, I don't have to use it right now. The Vampiric Double Sword is really good. I might use it in Sot. The Sot Sword. Clarity works with that. I don't have clarity anymore. I drank the potion of mutation, but I think it works with clarity. I'm not 100% sure because it used to be that it didn't work and then it got changed into working with clarity, or the other way around. Like clarity used to prevent involuntary berserks, but then someone in the dev team thought that it was a great idea to consider berserkitis a voluntary berserk because if you didn't want to berserk, you wouldn't be meleeing while you had berserkitis, and everyone hated that, so it got reverted. But I don't know exactly where it is right now. Um, yeah, you're in pain at the fact that I lost clarity. I don't know if I agree with that. Clarity is not my favorite thing to have. I don't. I'm thinking about whether or not I should open this. I'm not going to. Like, I already have such a crazy weapon. Wizard Dyke, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. I am playing Crawl, and it's going well, surprisingly. I survived many mid-game experiences with this character. Yeah, I am kind of astonished at the fact that I was able to survive to the things that the game threw at me. There was a point where I was at 4 HP with this character. This character has gotten some pretty blessed loot as well, but yeah, as I said while that was happening to me, do not let yourself be dissuaded by the dream of having a smooth mid game just because you have some pretty good loot. The game's still gonna find ways to get you down to 4 HP. In my case, it was Water Nymphs. Yeah, Water Nymphs still hit pretty hard. Oh, that and not having flight. The whole not having flight part and fumbling attacks is always very painful in shoals. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Yeah. If I had died, I would have played Darkest Dungeon, of course. So how did your stream go? I hope that you had a good stream. I have, against all odds, been having a good stream. Yeah, I'm excited because I'm gonna be able to put this character on YouTube. I generally put winning characters on YouTube, so unless the character died like super late into the game or it died in a particularly exciting way, I don't really put it on YouTube unless it won the game. And so I haven't really gotten a lot of content for my YouTube in a while. Um, because I've not been playing a lot of crawl and I've not been winning a lot of crawl. Okay, that got pretty scary for a second. I got hit for quite a bit of damage, 20 iron shot and then 53 crystal spear. That's about right. Very par for the curse when it comes to dealing with a deep elf. Annihilator, that is. Ouch. 57 crystal spear. I don't have Scroll of Silence nor File of Lots anymore, so I'm gonna have to hope that you don't do that again. Yeah, like, it's almost as if my 17 evasion and 23 shield didn't exist for that guy. Smite targeted Crystal Spears, am I right? Never been a fan of these elf layouts with multiple entrances slash exits from the vault. I don't like them because of yeah, I feel like the monsters just like get out of the vault and you have to fight them in the open instead of fighting them when you're ready to fight them, which is exactly what's happening here, right? By the way. My targeted crystal spear would probably be the scariest thing in the game. Damnation is, in my opinion, the scariest thing in the game. Like, you get hit, or you remain in line of sight of any monster with Damnation for long enough, and it's gonna kill you, no matter how robust or tanky you are. You could theoretically dodge or otherwise mitigate smite targeted crystal spears for long enough, but Damnation, you cannot dodge it and you cannot reduce its damage. So, yeah, Hellion Island is a pretty good example of what I'm talking about. You stand there for like 2 or 3 turns and you're gonna die. Your string was good, 15 rune Vine Stalker. You were surprised that range works so range, given that it doesn't use most. Oh yeah, because it doesn't use the Vine Stalker abilities. Okay, yeah, but range is strong. It's just that I don't like it because I don't like the whole not being able to use heavy armor. This character got a +8 longbow on D2. Yes, it was a good longbow. Pretty good longbow, actually really decent weapon. But I just decided against using it because I just don't like ranged weapons as they are right now. And then the game gave me a +10 plate. So if I had been training ranged weapons, I would have been very unhappy about training ranged weapons, not about finding a +10 plate, because I would still probably use it. At this point, getting banished, it's not really the end of the world. I want to see how likely that was to happen. I don't think it's gonna kill me. 9%. You can't use heavy armor with range. It is that significant. Okay. I was gonna say, I was gonna tell you that whenever I got out, I was gonna show you, but I can show you right now. So, the +10 plate armor of fashionability slows your attacks with this weapon by 0.4. 0.4. That's crazy. With this weapon, if I had 22 range weapons, I would be shooting at 1.0 attack speed. 22 range weapons for 1.0 attack speed. 412 base damage too, because the longbow has crazy low base damage compared to the arbalest. But like its goal, or like its stats are supposed to mean like this is the weapon that you use if you have crazy slaying. If you don't have crazy slaying, you should not use this, pretty much. Let's see how this goes. Oh, it's not gonna go well unless I use Fogu here. Okay, get me out of here. Does strength still reduce ER? It never did reduce ER, but it mitigates penalties of armor in dodgy stuff. I don't think it helps at all with the attack speed of ranged weapons. I think the only way you can mitigate that is with actual training of the weapon skill and with training of armor. So yeah, being a demigod, I cannot really afford to do those things. Too expensive. I got a pretty good greatsword, +5 heavy greatsword. But I'm using shields now, so whatever. I would have been very happy to use that, but not anymore. So yeah, let me see how much damage it is, because I feel like it's gonna do a lot of damage. Boots of Rampaging. I kinda want them. I don't think that I'm gonna have to worry too much about flying anymore, so we can grab these. So I'm not gonna use this, but I wanna see how damage rating 96. Yes, the base damage of this is 30, and then that 30 gets multiplied by 180% because of dexterity. Super hard to get rid of the armor penalty too. You shouldn't get rid of all the penalty from leather with 10 armor skill. You should get rid, or you shouldn't, as in it should take less than 10 armor to get rid of the penalty of leather for ranged weapons. Yeah, I don't like what they did with ranged weapons, but like that ship has set sail, I think. I don't think there's any way for me to do anything about it pretty much. You found a heavy triple sword, it had over 100 damage. Yeah, if I found one, it would also have over 100 because this one has 96. 91 if you discard the enchantment. Mm, you couldn't. Oh yeah, you couldn't. If you couldn't, like with 10 skill, get rid of the penalties of leather armor, like that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like it's the same with shields. It's literally the same thing that I've been complaining about ever since shields got reworked into what they are right now. Like equipping them just gives you penalties for the rest of the game. Yeah, they give you a benefit, but they also give you penalties for the rest of the game unless you get 27 shields, which in and of itself is a penalty. Um, so yeah, that is such a bad thing for ogres. The whole shields giving you melee penalties, or like they don't even give only melee penalties. They give throwing penalties and they give ranged weapon penalties. It's pretty bad. I didn't know about shields giving throwing penalties until very recently when I played an ogre, and I realized that I was like throwing javelins at under min delay with 16 skill. I was so disappointed. Or was it an ogre? I think it was a human with a No, no, no. I don't remember, but it was a character like that. Then I realized, I found out about that. Pretty disappointing. Anyway, let's go do. Let's see. We can probably go do bolts now. Let's see how that goes. I'm glad that getting out of the abyss was as painless as it was. No cold resistance. That's probably gonna be an issue, but I don't really have a good source of cold resistance. I have rings of cold resistance, but I wouldn't consider those to be a good source of cold resistance. Games in a wax state when mages are the best equipped to use shields. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense because like mages have always gotten penalized for using shields, but now melee gets penalized. You could say even more for using shields. Like a mage can completely remove all the penalties that they get from equipping a shield, but a melee character cannot unless they get 27 shields, which is completely insane. Uh, I don't like that. I really don't like that, and I think it should change. But I also don't think that it will ever change. Um, yeah, it's just like the way that this is. Do I get more strength? I kind of want to because I have those gold scales. I'm gonna get more strength. Let's see if I get a little bit of evasion as well. Okay, I got 2. It's a bit more. I was expecting 1 evasion, but getting 2 is nice. I still need to get more strength because probably 1 more level up of strength and the rest can go to dexterity. Boy, demigods in the mid slash late game are so nice. Like once you survive the crawl mid game experience of the lure branches, you are so strong. Like this character is really strong now, but I came so close to dying in shoals. And to be completely fair, I don't think that between shoals and this place, this character has received a significant power increase. I think it's only the fact that I am fighting in a much better arena for a melee character. Like I can just kite these guys into this choke point, which I wouldn't really be able to do in shoals because in shoals nothing like this exists. Yep, big deal for this character. Layout is just so much more benevolent for this character. Yep, I think that with melee characters, I would just like go do bolts every time, if I could do it before doing lure branches. But because that's not a thing that can happen, well, I am forced to submit myself to the agony that is lure branches. Okay. So far, this is going well. I think that we are probably gonna be able to finish the game tonight in a win, of course. So now I have. I'm not even gonna enchant this. I'll enchant it if I somehow find 10 more scrolls of enchant weapon. I have that treasure trove, but I don't need to enter the treasure trove because my gear is just that good. There's a very good chance that the treasure trove would not give me any upgrades. I still have some things that could be upgraded, like maybe the shield, the helmet, the cloak, the boots, maybe the amulet or 1 ring, but I would prefer to just fully enchant my Bamp double sword because at the end of the day it is a Bamp double sword. Its purpose is to be as highly enchanted and damaging as possible so that I heal like crazy whenever I hit with it. Yeah, hitting with the sword and healing for like 50 or so, going back to full HP is such a nice moment. You're probably not gonna get it because I don't think that a lot of you play Guilty Gear. But it's like getting a clean hit Sidewinder on Soul when doing Sidewinder combos. Like it's a game that doesn't really have a lot of freeze whenever you land an attack, but when you do a clean hit with Soul, there's freeze on the screen. So like that's the way that the game delivers to you. Hey, you just did something that hit really hard. And yeah, like it's pretty cool. It's something like that whenever you heal like crazy with a double sword. Hello, Railbird. Thank you for stopping by and good to see you around. We are playing Crawl and it's going well. Somehow it's going well. I am as astonished as everyone else here that it is going well. I was kind of ready to play Darkest Dungeon tonight, but the Crawl said no, you're gonna play Crawl and it's gonna go well until shoals, and that's not gonna go well, but the rest of the game is gonna go well because you survive shoals. Reflect over Protect? No. I don't think that... Well, Reflection is nice, but I like the armor class. Man, these stats are insane. 13, 9, 20, 25 defenses. These stats are insane. Let's train a fighting armor, dodging, and shields. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna leave them on like that for the rest of the game. There's one thing that could give this character some serious trouble, and that is monsters with strong cold attacks I don't have cold resistance. That's like probably one of the things that I would like to change the most when it comes to this character. Man, it's such a good character. Gargoyle bands are so difficult to deal with, and this character just like completely trivialized them because this character has it's just like how it is with demigods. Once you get to this point where you have really really good stats, by extension those stats are gonna turn into really really good defenses. um, I may not have the greatest evasion. I don't have 70 evasion, and I also don't have 70 armor class. But the characters that have 70 evasion and 70 armor class don't have the mixture of stats that I have with these characters. So yeah, characters that have good um, stats in all three defenses are so much tankier than characters that have exceedingly good stats in one defense and then just like 8 evasion or so. This is something that you can very clearly see in most of my runs that have gotten to the late game with like 8 evasion or so. I still get hit pretty hard, pretty frequently, but I don't really think that it's gonna be the case in SOT this time. That I just like every random draconian band is just gonna destroy me. I don't think it's gonna happen today. It might still happen that I get like put in trouble. I don't think I'm gonna get killed, but I might get put in trouble by like 2 or 3 draconian bands at the same time, maybe with the help of a Quicksilver Dragon or 2 or something along those lines. You know how SOT can be. But a single normal draconian band? No, no, definitely not. Does that mostly come down to some attacks ignoring evasion, armor class, or shield? Yeah, kind of. Like, see, here's the deal. It's not quite that, but it is just that dodging attacks that hit super duper hard is probably for the best, no matter how much armor class you have. Like, for example, you saw it in Elf with the Annihilators that were hitting me for like 60, 70 damage with their Crystal Spears. Dodging those is probably for the best. And then on the other hand, there's attacks that you cannot dodge, like explosions, like Orbs of Fire with their fireballs. Of course, fire resistance is the highest priority there, but like your 70 evasion is not gonna do anything. Well, on the other hand, your 70 armor class kinda will do something. It's I don't know exactly how it works, like the mitigation of Oh yeah, like this is resistant to that. The mitigation of that damage, the damage of fireballs from armor class. I think it is still applied armor class, but it's still not gonna be that great because just as with the crystal spears, normal fire's fireballs are really really damaging. Mm. So you better have fire resistance for those. Mm. Oh, Senata, hold on. Senata kills people. Um, Yeah, I think that I should give Senata another glyph because that lowercase a doesn't look threatening enough. I'm gonna read teleport. I think that I could maybe win, but it doesn't feel so safe fighting in this position. Not to mention that like these are fast. They're not really that great, and I have good armor class. If I didn't have good armor class, I would have gotten killed in like 2 turns there. Um, Okay, lots of uniques. It's fine. Senata is something that it's probably best to fight in a 1 versus 1 whenever possible. Yeah, she hits pretty hard with her dancing weapons. Okay, waterlock, so you don't summon those. Slow, and there we go. Okay. I thought that it was gonna be somewhat difficult because she also has a pretty crazy good weapon today. She had a +5 vampiric Gladiator tank. So yeah, I thought that she was gonna hit me and like hit me for like 50 damage and then heal for like 50 damage. But fortunately, it didn't happen. Silencing here before she gets blades out helps a ton. I agree. I agree. That's how you should deal with Senata. Why am I not using condenser vein here? Yep. I was thinking of teleporting, but I'm not like full HP. I don't need to teleport. The difference between these guys and the guys in shoals is just so drastic. It's astonishing. This is literally easier than shoals. Why is it easier than shoals? Who knows, but it certainly is easier than shoals. Nothing there appeals to my interests. Okay, this would be a nice time to have a condenser bane, but I have immolation, and this time I have fire resistance, so I can actually afford to do it. Yep. Saint Rocco's banned, or what was going on there? No idea what was going on there, but oh no, it was a Nork room. Oh, yeah, it was a Nork room. Okay, that's what was going on there. Beautiful immolation. Yep, it was pretty nice. Okay, shows or like not shows. Bolts was really fast. We're at the 2 hour mark, surprisingly, and we're done with bolts. Now I have. I could do. I could do crypts. Yeah, sure. Let's see how this goes. Insufficient pleasure. It sounds rather aggravating. That's a pretty bad trident too. Hmm. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna Berserk and I'm not gonna like it. Okay, I'm Berserk. So far, I'm liking it. Gotta get rid of that, that guy. There we go.
Creative message should go here, but there isn't one.
Yes, there isn't one today, but that's fine. Will Tarquine, thank you for the year of subscribing. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for the continued support. The last year, 2022, was probably one of the worst years for the stream because I was starting to really feel like I didn't want to play that much crawl anymore, and I was also pretty demotivated with my attempts to stream other things. But on 2023, I'm just gonna stream whatever I want. If I want to stream crawl, as I am doing today, I'll stream crawl. I'm also gonna try to stream like crawl at least once per week. I'm gonna try to do that. Like you can see it from the title, weekly attempt to see if I can enjoy crawl, and so far it's been going pretty well. Apart from shows, with a bit of luck, like that's gonna get changed in the future. Like it would be great if the mid game received a massive rework for 0.30 or 0.31. I think that the ship has already set sail with 0.30, considering how it's so late in the version's development cycle. Um, but maybe for 0.31, because yeah, I don't like it as it is right now. On the other hand, it may not be even a thing that the developers consider to be an issue. So who knows? You've played so much Darkest Dungeon, you're burned out on it, on watching it. Yeah, understandable, understandable. You know what? I also have that issue. Um, whereas, like, the campaigns are so long in Darkest Dungeon that I just, like, have not finished my Darkest Dungeon campaigns, like, twice in a row. Like, there's been 2 campaigns that I've started but not finished. But this time I'm gonna finish it, and I'm gonna finish it on stream. Because I want to do that. And I'm gonna put it on Twitch as well, or on YouTube as well. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't have what it takes to deal with BB. Yeah, BB is like a Depths 5 enemy. You have no business being in Crypt 1. I am now going to leave this place and go elsewhere. Yeah, we're not doing that. I was like happily tabbing everything until I realized, hey, a 9 shouldn't be in Crypt. And then it suddenly hit me. Fortunately, I didn't get hit by crazy damage before I realized. Is your problem with Darkest Dungeon as well? Yeah, Darkest Dungeon 2 is gonna be much better in that regard, like run based instead of campaign based. I That's how I've been describing it. So far, the Zealot Sword hasn't been like I haven't regretted equipping the Zealot Sword, but it is pretty unnerving to just like randomly go berserk. I am not a fan of that. My character is strong enough that it's not really an issue for this place, but I'm just like a bit scared about the possibility of it being an issue in the near future. Um, I wish I could take advantage of the berserking of allies that the Zealot Sword has, but I don't have the desire to summon things apart from Scrolls of Summoning. And these guys cannot be berserk, so whatever. Alright, let's do this. Oof! That's some big boy damage on Jori. Crazy. Jori just kind of exploded with 3 attacks. How hard am I hitting with this? 54. It's not even that high. No party switching in Darkest Dungeon 2 you do not like at all. Um, I think it's fine. It's like I would compare it to other roguelike inspired games. For example, have you ever played FTL? You know that in FTL you can switch your ship, right? So you play through the entirety of the short run, like 3 hours or so, with the same ship, but then you can just finish your run and play with another ship. It is something very similar to that. Like I can see where they got the idea from. Is what I'm trying to say here. You're familiar with FTL? I should play FTL. FTL is much easier to play on stream because of that I just mentioned. Like it's not campaign based, it's run based. So I can play a run of FTL, and it's gonna take me 2 to 3 hours because I am pretty much out of shape when it comes to FTL. I haven't played in a while, um, but yeah. Mm. And then I can just go do other things. Okay, getting tormented like crazy. I don't like this. Yep, getting tormented like crazy. Okay, the death mage died, which is the only thing that could hit me from afar. So I can just safely walk to the stairs. Can you do nasty things to me? 3% paralyzed, blink close. Um, yeah, the Curse of Skull kind of ruined the day for everyone here. Okay. I have Rampaging. Rampaging has been helping a lot with the whole berserking thing. Hmm. Not enough. Not enough berserk to get rid of everyone. This is exactly what I was fearful of when I started using the Solid Sword. Um, Even here, the land where pretty much everyone is affected by it, it's still not great. Is why you like having a force more on Big Mark? Yeah. You have not fired up Darkest Dungeon 2 in months. You're sure it's better now? You don't like the party interactions? There was constant party infighting. Yeah, but at the end, at the same time, like that was also the case for Darkest Dungeon 1 in its first iterations. I know that the party infighting mechanic is like a new thing for Darkest Dungeon 2, but um, yeah, I think it was just a matter of them getting too excited with their new mechanic and then toning it down for the actual release instead of when it was in early access. Yeah, the Epic Games version is pretty much early access. I'm sure people that tried it in early access and didn't really like it that much are gonna like it once it releases on Steam. Unless they have issues with some of the core aspects that are not gonna change, such as, for example, the whole being run based instead of campaign based thing, which is something that I heard from some other people. Like I've seen people that were disappointed that Darkest Dungeon 2 wasn't just like a reskin of Darkest Dungeon 1 with a new hamlet and new places to explore. Um, I'm personally pretty glad that they didn't go that route. Um, I have like pretty much the opposite take. I'm glad that they didn't do that, um, and I'm looking forward to playing their game once it releases, for real, because everyone knows that Epic Games is not a real release of a game. All right, I got 27 strength, so for the rest of the game, and that means 2 more stat level ups. It's gonna go to dexterity. But yeah, look at my defenses. 40, 28, 26. It's so ridiculously good. Um, I have such good defenses. These guys are pretty scary, so I'm gonna have to use a potion of 3 here. Yeah, that nukes my defenses, but it's fine. It's funny how in the early game using a potion of 3 helps with your defenses a lot, but now it's just like it nukes your defenses in the late game. Mm. It's a complicated amulet. It's not bad. It's got regen, but I don't have that much willpower, unfortunately. So I cannot really equip it. If somehow I get like 3 pips of willpower, if it like lands on my lap or something, I would absolutely equip that because it's really good and um, it gives me the poison resistance that I do not have. Yeah, if I find like 3 pips of willpower, that's gonna be a really good item. Mm. You would love for more content for Darkest Dungeon like game, in the sense of like campaign based. The clones are not as good. Hmm. I don't know. Like, and here's the thing. Here's why I say I don't know. Because I've seen the DLC of Darkest Dungeon 1, and I don't think that they know what to add to the game to make it like truly fun. Because the DLCs don't look fun to me. They look annoying. And I don't want to experience them pretty much, especially for so long as Darkest Dungeon 1 campaign goes. Mm. Okay, so we're done with crypts. Let's go do depths. I want to postpone doing snake as long as possible. I was really not expecting to find BB, by the way. That was pretty funny. Hmm. Oh, I have the ability to buy the gold scales now. I want to do it. I really want to buy those gold scales because I'm interested in seeing what they have for me. That's poison resistance, by the way, from the gold scales. If they're good, they need to be very highly enchanted for me to be excited over them. Um, it's gonna be difficult for those gold scales to be better than my plate, just because the plate is fully enchanted. But they might be, and they also give pretty good resistances, so that's another good thing. Um, okay, helmet of sea invisible, pretty cool. After this level, I'm gonna go buy the gold scales, and we shall see what they have, because I've been wondering about them for the longest time. I also want to buy the other plate, but I don't think the other plate is gonna be better than what I have. I think that it's gonna be like +1 plate with like fire resistance or something, like totally disappointed, par for the curse. Those guys hurt, but it was not the end of the world. Mm, Dwarf skeleton, cool. Oh, by the way, have you guys played Dwarf Fortress? I have not because I didn't really buy it. It's not my kind of game. Like, I'm not into micromanagement simulators, and that is the grandfather of all micromanagement simulators, pretty much. Okay, it's pretty bad. I'm amazed. I was not expecting it to be that bad, but it certainly is, so whatever. Now, my next objective is the crystal plate, I suppose. I think the crystal plate does have a chance to be better than the rendered plate. Yeah, this game, I just got crazy gear. Let's go back to depths. I have one rune right now, so I could just like I am already I think powerful enough to win the game with only one rune. The rune lock kinda sucks. It would be great if it was removed from the game, but it's not gonna happen. I'm just saying that it would be nice if I could just finish the run by going straight down into SOT 5. I don't like this. This is kinda dangerous. I'm gonna use silence here. Silence will make it so that the Lich and the Tengu River cannot just kill me. Pretty good scroll silence there. You start playing Dwarf Fortress a bit. It's a type of game that you can't forget you're spending hours and hours on without realizing. You stop yourself to do some project. Yeah, understandable. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors is a dangerous thing to turn on. Like, it's not even that great of a game, but you still turn it on and you blink your eyes, and then it's like 5 a.m. or something like that. Really, really scary. Okay, I think that the Zealot Sword is a pretty good switch in for dealing with liches and stuff. You know, just late game monsters, skeletal monsters. Getting rid of them quickly is probably gonna mitigate a lot of damage for me. Mm. Think I could do a little bit of a cigarette as well, but who knows? Not like I truly need it, but it would be nice to fully enchant my double sword or whatever. 5 hand axes and 3 minotaur corpses. Alright. At least Vampire Survivors is like limited to 13 minutes for a good cutoff. But then you finish and then you're like, oh, I want to start another run, or so and so and so. You could try to get to Larefoot for another run or poke around in Bolts 5, or I could be funny and chase after Pan. I'm gonna get the Abyss rune, and I might get Slime. No, not Slime. Slime is pretty bad for melee characters. Okay, that's a lot of high level dudes. Oh, it was an undead room. Okay, that makes sense. I want to pick that up. So yeah, I think that at this point I would be better off just finding gold scales off the floor. I don't think that I'm gonna have the ability to get enough money for for the crystal plate that is in the shop. Man, I really got roughed with those rendered gold scales. I was expecting them to be better than +0, like at least +2 or so. But +0, that's kind of insulting. You have been playing a bit of Vampire Survivors like called Bone Racer Minions. I would hate it. You know, fight yourself, but have allies that run around with different attacks and abilities, killing stuff, but only you are targeted by mobs. Yeah, I would hate it. That kind of thing is like so frustrating to me. Like, dude's running at me and I cannot punch it. What is this? What is this ridiculous thing? That's the feeling that I have whenever I am forced to play a character that is using Summon Forest, for example. Like the ally that I have is suicidal and is the only way that I have to kill things. I have to rely on that ally and I'm supposed to protect it, but I cannot really do so because if I could, I would just be using that spell instead of using Summon Forest. Yeah, Summon Force is all that's bad with summonings in this game, in my opinion, or at least for me. Yeah, it's just like summoning is not summoning like that, like just hiding behind your summon is not a playstyle for me. It is a psychological thing of like I feel like I'm not doing anything and like this is horrendous. I don't want to do this anymore, kind of thing. Okay, we're in the late game, and in the late game we get some luxuries, such as using Wand of Digging to make a corridor. You know, the quintessential use of Wand of Digging. This is the reason why Wand of Digging is such a rare item in the game nowadays. How many charges of digging do I have? Only 3. Yeah, it's such a luxury to be able to use a charge of Wand of Digging. It's so rare. Alrighty. So far so good. Yes. Gold scales. Attached to a dragon, I suppose. Let's see if we can actually get the gold scales. So I heard that you can switch weapons while berserk. So this is probably a terrible idea. You can switch weapons while berserk. Yeah, it was not a very good idea. I didn't kill enough dudes. Okay, those are smite tomes. And smite is a pretty bad thing to be in the receiving end of, so we're gonna have to sacrifice all those clouds because I don't want to get smitten to death. I also don't want to fight Farhit while slow, so whatever. Mm, I am down to 1 charge of digging. Okay. I need the Circ. Oh, killing Parkhit with this character is pretty difficult. Yeah, I need to get some good rolls. That was me being berserk. Oh, there. I hadn't even like kept it in mind. Like only until now do I realize that this is my armor for the end game. Um, if I can kill him anyway, it's been pretty difficult so far. Hmm. I just got hit pretty hard. Thinking if I shoot. I have so many of them. Yeah, careful tabbing. We don't want to die horrendously here. But yeah, okay, he's being pretty difficult to kill. I am going to give up for now. Tactical retreat. Yeah, fortunately I'm pretty tanky myself as well, so uh, he was able to kill me if he got like enough good rolls on attacks because he was hitting me for like 50 whenever he got a good roll. So I just decided to disengage while I was ahead. Mm. And by ahead I mean alive. Yeah, he generates with really good gold skills. That's his thing. It's late game Pargy, so if you don't get Pargy, you have a chance to get Park hits while you're in depths. And sometimes I have gone into depths specifically with the objective of finding Park hits and trying to get gold skills, highly enchanted gold skills. So yeah, like even though it is really difficult to kill park hits, it is still absolutely worth it to do so because of the gold skills thing. So yeah, which is exactly what's gonna happen today. Like I want to kill park hits because I want gold skills, even though I have 2 gold skills right here. Because those are +0, and the ones that park hit has are +8. So yeah, quite a difference. Okay. If only 1 crystal spear has hit me. Those crystal tomes are so bad. This is the kind of bolt that I would have so many issues with on a normal character, but this is not a normal character. This is a really, really strong crawl character, the likes of which you're not gonna get very frequently. So I can just like tap down all of these guys like it's nothing. Scarf of Resistance, I want that. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the ability to get rid of the globes, and by extension, I am just gonna acquire these +5 globes now. Okay, we have 1 pip of fire and cold resistance, but when I equip Parkit's gold scales, I'm gonna have 2 pips of witch and crazy armor class and poison resistance. So yeah, that's my end game upgrade. 3 scrolls of enchant weapons, so sure. +9 vampiric double sword, yay! That's pretty good. Okay, final fight versus Sparkheat. I'm gonna do it much better now with Phantom Mirror. Okay, my Parkit got hit really, really hard. You know what I should do? I should try to go for the acid thing again. Oh, I typoed. Parkit didn't get corroded. Come on, give me the corrosion. And might and haste. Okay, yeah, there we go. I got 2 good rolls in a row. Yeah, the issue with the Parkit fight is that you just have to get lucky and get good enough rolls in a row. And once you can achieve that, you just win. My evasion, is it really nuked? Like, is my evasion getting nuked? Not really, I'm losing 3 evasion. I can afford to lose 3 evasion, it's perfectly reasonable. And now I have endgame stats and endgame resistances, and also almost fully enchanted gold scales. There we go. Need 1 more scroll of enchanted weapon for fully enchanted gold scales. That's pretty nice. I am very happy with the way that this character has been going. Yeah, look at that, 2 hours and 19 minutes. I could go into SOT if the rune lock didn't exist, because I already am done with everything there is to be. Okay, let's go to Snake. At this point, like, I can just go straight down. I don't need to clear anything, fortunately, because this place is horrendous. It's not really difficult anymore because, like, endgame character, but it is still very annoying because you can still be an endgame character, but the things about the mid-game are not gonna change, like open arenas and enemies with shields and might and stuff. Busted stats, yep. Demigods can get pretty strong. The thing is that getting a demigod to this point it takes a while. It's not only skill based, it's also pretty luck based, because like, look at my gear. I have crazy good gear. From the beginning of the game when I got this double sword. Okay, I hope that I don't get a really annoying Snake 4 bolt. I really hope so. This is Saint Roca's band. It looks like it because of that Orc Warrior. Okay, gotta deal with the monsters that were coming at me because of the mark. It feels nice to not have to be deadly afraid of shock serpents. Yeah, shock serpents are a thing that I personally have issues with in this game. I don't think that they're very good design because of how rare and difficult it is to have resistance to electricity. And you might say, oh, but there's like potions of resistance and stuff, but those are very rare as well and very limited. I also have had characters with no resistance to electricity that have literally had to use their entire stock of resistance, potions of resistance for the entirety of the game, only to then go to Sot and die because they didn't have potions of resistance. Yep, it really is like that sometimes. Tower Shield of Fire Resistance, that's pretty good. I will equip that. And now I have 36 shield. And my attack speed is not terrible. Shouts to shield skill. I'm gonna turn these back on. Yeah, this has been going so well. I'm glad that I explored that, by the way, because I got the tower shield because of exploring it. Um, oh yeah, if I had tried to do this as a first run, I would have died. Like, I have zero doubts that I would have died here. And for shoals, like when I did my first run, which was shoals, I didn't have a shield yet. So I chose to do shoals precisely because I didn't have a shield, because um, doing this without a shield would have been horrendous. But doing shoals without a shield and doing shoals with a shield is pretty much the same thing, because the javelins ignore the shield, so whatever. An antique armor store. Let's take a look. There's that, but there's another one. And yeah, an antique armor emporium without a piece of enchanted gear, let alone artifacts. I'm invincible. For this point in the game, I kind of am invincible versus these guys. I mean, I still take damage sometimes, but it is very difficult for them to deal damage. So I can kind of get away with holding down tab. Mm. Crystal Spear. Oh yeah, I'm glad. Like, doing this after you have done Depths 5 is, or Depths 4, I guess, is the correct time to do it, because it just removes so much of the annoyance of this place when you're actually strong enough to just beat these guys by holding down tab. It feels good. Okay, fully enchanted gold scales, 46 armor class. Not bad at all. And I got the rune. Okay. Now, for my third rune, I'm gonna do Abyss because I think it's gonna be the fastest. I also have the Zealot sword, so I can just go in, wield it, and just like tab and kill everything. The slowing is gonna be annoying. I wish it didn't berserk you like that against one enemy. So yeah, like this character has good armor class, good evasion, and good shield, which it turns the character into like a godly character pretty much. You detect the abyssal rune. It's right there. You never opt for Abyss? I started doing it a lot more in the version where picking up the abyssal rune gave you 2 potions of experience. I miss that so much. And if you're wondering why I miss that so much, well, look at my experience level right now. If I had 2 potions of experience for picking up the abyssal rune, I would be experience level 25 now. Which, yeah, that would be such a big deal. I wanted to go upstairs, but when I wanted to step on the exit, I accidentally like rampaged into someone. Yeah, that's rampaging on reasons. Yeah, now there is an indicator for the rune in console. It's really nice. Wasn't that only implemented when they remove experience again from Abyss Monster? Yeah, like why even why like Abyss Monsters? It's cool to have Abyss Monsters give HP or experience when you get banished at like experience level 14 or so, and you're like, oh, I might be able to kill this tentacle dude in the abyss. You know the one that's like a kraken. that like spawns tentacles. You might be able to kill that, and then you kill it at experience level 14, and you feel like incredible, and you get rewarded with experience. That's cool. What's not cool is going into the abyss looking for the rune at experience level 23, and then like imagine how long it would take me to kill 2 levels worth of experience at that point. Um, and I go for the Abyss rune very frequently nowadays because it's just so much faster than trying to do Bolts 5 or trying to do Slime with a melee character. Um, so yeah, like you saw how quickly I went through the Abyss. Uh, it would have been nice if that had given me 2 potions of experience, but yeah, it's just not how it is anymore. It was pretty easy because the character is pretty busted. If it was not such an insane character, it wouldn't have been so easy. Let's go do Sot. You rarely play melee characters, so you often go Slime. Yeah, that's correct. Slime is so much easier with a mage. Mages have such an easy time dealing with large bands of enemies, but melee characters don't really get that ability. Okay, she has a pretty good ring of willpower. I feel like I might want to put it on. Okay, Josephina might be. Nah, she's not scary. Nothing really is scary right now, I think. Yep, Josephina got absolutely dunked on. Even the Berserk Dragons, which are an issue for some of my characters, every now and then are not an issue for this character. This feels so good. I needed a character like this. I'm glad that I finally got it. And I feel like most of my ogres that I've played recently that have like died um, could have become this if it was not for the armor restrictions that ogres get. Mm. Okay, have big willpower now. What if I put this on? Now I have big fire resistance and big willpower. What am I getting that willpower from? Like, because I only have one item that gives willpower. Monster, Red Leech. 9% chance to paralyze because I'm only experience level 23. That's another thing about the gaining of experience from like the abyss like that. Mm, Gaining 2 levels matters for 2 reasons. The first one is the HP that you get at this point in the game. I mean, of course. The second one is the willpower gain. The willpower gain is so important. It can make it so that you don't get banished, or like not banished, but paralyzed by something in SOT. Yeah, that could kill you. Okay, pretty easy. SOT 1. That's a million dudes, but I have Condenser Vein. I'm getting Blink like crazy. Very par for the curse. I don't want to use my last Wand of Digging charge here, so I'm gonna try to fight away from these. But I'm getting blinked. This is the snake experience. It definitely is. I might just tab all of these guys down. Yeah. Okay, it's working. They're not really dealing damage. The wonders of having good balanced stats. Yeah, beautiful. It really is wonderful. Like, I have 37 shield. I'm not taking damage. I tapped through all of that and I don't think I took any damage. Let's enchant the tower shield because, sure, it deserves it. And I also don't have anything else to enchant. I think I might be able to tap this guy down. Yeah, sure. Okay, got Berserkitis. Is my shield making me attack slower at all? Yes. You can see that sometimes I go to 0.8 and sometimes I'm at 0.7. 0.7 is my min delay with the double sword. 0.8 is a bit of shield penalty. I am at 23 shield, so it's getting to the point where it is not affecting me that much anymore, even though it is a tower shield. But on the other hand, I am at 23 shield, so there's that. And I'm also at 23 shield because I forgot to turn it off for like forever. Um, I should get rid of that. Yeah, weakness to fire is actually not okay, not acceptable. I want to get rid of that. I don't like the form body. I like robust and I like willpower. All right, I'll take that. I don't like the form body, but I like robust and I like willpower. I think that it balances itself out. How many potions do I have? 6. Okay. Kind of important to keep that in mind mm, for SOT 5. Maybe I get hit by a bad mutation and I cannot fix it. You'll go for Wujian as your default melee god just for a crumb of area of effect. You can also use axes. There's also that option. Or you can spice things up and use manifold assault. That's another way to get area of effect attacks. Another option that you also have is using transmutations. Stormform gives you cleaving as well, and it goes really really well with manifold assault. Man, this character is so strong. You remember that things that I said earlier about draconian bands being a joke? Well, this is the proof. Like, I was not exaggerating. I'm literally holding down tab because draconians are so easy. Oh boy. But the thing is that crawl runs like these are not the default, are not the thing that you're always gonna get. And I think that's also a pretty okay thing, because if all crawl runs were this easy, you wouldn't really get enjoyment out of them. You just like feel pretty bad when they're not like this. The Kirsto is kind of ruining things for everyone. Yeah, cannot really hold down Taff versus a Kirsto. Alright, I'll blink. Okay, the shifter followed me. That's pretty cool because I was able to kill it. So now dealing with these guys is going to be significantly less annoying. I also think that I should probably not go down these stairs anymore. So many monsters. Let me see if there's a third set of stairs. Yeah. I could kill them all, but it's just like so sketchy with the Kirsto. Kirsto plus Tentacled Monstrosity might make it so that I just die without being able to escape that. And yep, we don't wanna be in the receiving end of such a thing today. Hey, I found 5 charges of digging. Wow. My second wand of digging in this game. Okay, so I am not a speedrunner, but I feel like with the crazy loot that we got today, a speedrunner would have been able to finish the game in like, well, I say an hour because an hour is fast to me, but maybe even faster than that. Ouch, 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 ouch. Yep. You know what I said earlier regarding the Kirsto? It happened. Held down tab Kirsto. Okay, so good thing here. You might think that this looks so scary. I'm gonna tell you why it is not nearly as scary as you would think. The only thing that was dealing damage to me is the Kirsto. Like, before the Kirsto, I was not taking damage, or whatever little damage I was taking, I was regaining. Um, so that means that the dudes cannot really deal a lot of damage to me. So I should be able to quickly get rid of them. I'm gonna try to heal myself a bit as well. You know what? I'm gonna use Salad Sword. Did I one-shot the Kirsto? I did. I'm getting corroded. I'm gonna use attraction here. Yeah, the game says you're too injured to fight recklessly, but the game doesn't know what it's talking about. I am by no means too injured to fight recklessly. That is not a real thing for this character. This character is never too injured to fight recklessly. Yeah, that curse though was annoying. Other than the curse though, like I really don't have to respect these guys. That's how strong I am with this character. Cloak of Preservation. I am interested. I am gonna equip it actually. I bet that I don't get anything from the Scarf of Resistance anymore. But I would get something out of the Cloak of Preservation. There's even a +2 Cloak of Preservation here. Alrighty, I lose 1 pip of cold resistance. That's perfectly fine. We have no issues with that. But I gain resistance to corrosion. This looks so good. Having robust is a pretty cool thing too. Demigod already have +1 HP, so now it's like I have +2 HP. +2 HP is the realm of Naga and pretty much Armator. Armator doesn't have +2 HP, but it has +1 HP and Scales mutation that gives it +7% HP. So it's kind of like +2, but not really. Very close to +2. Pretty scary, multiple Curstos. Glad that I have the Zealot Sword to quickly get rid of them. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we want to jump onto that trap. The toes are gross. Yeah, they're pretty dangerous. They're pretty dangerous enemies. Okay, the Quicksilver Dragon is probably gonna get rid of my mark. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. It also got rid of the slow. Good guy, Quicksilver Dragon. Barely dealing damage because I have 45 armor class, while at the same time getting rid of my debuffs. Yeah, the Crystals torment, and they summon shrooms, so the shrooms can kill you after you got tormented 17 times in a row. The Crystal itself does not deal any melee damage or anything at all. Its only way to kill you is the shrooms. But they can kill you. They can definitely kill you in a 1 versus 1. Healing Malignance minus a scroll. Well, not much to do about that. I'll drink potions after I get rid of you. I got heavily malmutated there. I gotta see what I got. Probably gonna end up losing the robustness, but it's fine. I got stat rot. Oh no, I didn't get stat rot. I got bite by these killer clown. Very annoying. -4 dexterity and nothing too terrible. Okay, yeah, we have minus a scroll. Minus a scroll is kind of terrible, but that's about it. And it is stuck in a sea of other malmutations. I'm still gonna try to get rid of everything. With a bit of luck, we are not gonna lose the robustness. And we just lost the robustness. You do not regenerate when monsters are visible. I hate that mutation. That's pretty good. Yeah. Willpower, 4 dexterity, 2 extra dexterity, 6 dexterity, and cold resistance. I like that. And I still have 2 potions of mutation. Not that it matters too much because we're about to finish the game, but yeah, quick and easy, under 4-hour character, under 3 hour. It's been a while since I've had a character that wins the game at all, let alone win the game so quickly. But I shall accept it. One of these guys has distortion. Oh yeah, it was Black Draconian Knight. I love being able to hit this hard because those guys are so annoying. But I have 50 dexterity, literally 50 dexterity. So I'm hitting pretty hard with this vampiric double sword, and the dudes are not really able to deal with that. Okay, condenser bane. We got poison. It's fine. I'm scared of the ancient leeches, so we use Zealot sword. So a lot of ancient leeches. What's your chance to hex me? 0%. That's pretty good. I like to see that. Lots of leeches. Fortunately, not enough orbs of fire, or not a lot of orbs of fire. 0 orbs of fire is enough orbs of fire. Um, I'm gonna circ this because I feel like I don't have to be afraid, and I have to get rid of the orb of fire quickly. Okay, pretty good. How bad of a mutation do I think Frail is? It's annoying. It's not really that terrible. It's like if you're playing like a human, it turns you into a halfling. Shouts to halflings. If you are playing a deep elf, it turns you into a spriggan, and like turning into a spriggan is pretty bad, especially when you're a spriggan that doesn't run fast. So I guess it depends on your maximum HP. The less your maximum HP, the worse it is. This was a massacre. Like this was one of the easiest shots that I've had in many years. Well, not many years, but like in a while. Probably in like a year. That seems about right to say. Demigods are pretty good. Mm. Once they get going, that is. At the beginning, they're not good. Okay, what are you? Not terrible. Yeah, not difficult. Weak to fire too. So if I had any fire spells, I would kill it with a fire spell. But I am not able to do such a thing. So I was not really gonna use the Zealot sword because I don't have allies and I don't get to take advantage of the fancy thing about the Zealot sword. Once again, if you don't know about it, it berserks all of your allies when you go berserk. So it is pretty crazy. I once had a Bolts 5 moment where I saw a monster with Zealot sword and it went berserk and everything in the screen went berserk. It was great. I wonder if anyone clipped it. I don't really look at my clips, so if anyone clipped that, I appreciate it. I'll eventually take a look at my clips and stuff. But yeah, it's over. We won. I cannot believe that it finally happened after so long. YouTube.com/ninth settler. Yep. Now I shield the YouTube because getting growth on YouTube is probably more important than getting growth on Twitch. Um, by the way, recently someone from YouTube followed the stream and immediately subscribed, so I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for the support. It is really helpful. I hope that you enjoy my content. And yeah. Okay, this character was really good. In fact, I am very close to getting Diesel. I need one more point of evasion to get Diesel. So what I want to do is go pick up a Ring of Dexterity and put it on, or yeah, go pick up a Ring of Dexterity and put it on, or get enough experience to get 1 point of evasion. Oh boy, they're not very close. The closest one is on Bolts 1. They're very far away. Okay, let's try this. I'm gonna rest here until I get some enemies. Try to open the trove. I cannot really do it, unfortunately, because I never got the +5 Demon Trident. Only got, like, I did get Demon Tridents, but I didn't get a +5 Demon Trident. And there it is. I got my 31 evasion, so I can win now. Okay. Diesel character. It's been a while since I've had a Diesel winning character. Pretty good character. Yeah, surprising how well it went and how quickly I was able to win the game. Oof, when you get good loot, you get good loot. It's just how it is. Now let's see. When was the last time that I won a diesel character? It was in September of 2022. Human Blade, Human Gladiator of Okawaru. Yep. Pretty nice. Alrighty. Well, that's gonna be it for tonight. Because I won a crawl character, so my celebration is stopping the stream. I hope that you all enjoyed this. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm probably not gonna be playing crawl tomorrow. I think that having a character like this one is not something that happens on a daily basis. Um, but I will play Darkest Dungeon. Maybe I play FTL because some people have never seen FTL, and I like that game. I also like Into the Breach. Maybe I do like an FTL run and then an Into the Breach run tomorrow. That's a thing that could happen. But anyway, I appreciate your support and everything. I am glad to say that the attempt at enjoying crawl was successful. If we disregard the mid game, I did not enjoy getting that first run because it almost killed me so many times. But other than that, it was a pretty good character, pretty enjoyable. So yeah, see you around. Have a nice rest of your night.